My name is Ralph Mosgrove, and I'm the author of this book, Saying Thanks and Beyond is Saying Thank You Enough. It came about as a result of my wife's fall in 2008. She fell and broke her back. And from then on, I had to use a walker to stabilize herself. We were married and had 60 years of marriage. I met her at our Nazarene College in Quincy, Massachusetts, so Eastern Nazarene College. I had 26 years of experience in the Navy as a career in personnel work. I moved all over the country, and most of it was on the East Coast. But when I finally retired in 1980, we established our home in Florida, in St. Petersburg, and that's where I'm from now. And after her fall in 2008, she was not able to go anywhere without a walker to stabilize her walk. And people would step forward and offer to open a door for her and things like that, and she would say to me, "What more can I say than thank you, because it seems so trite?" And I said, well, I had a phrase to it like, "That was really a big help. I'm glad you came along when you did," or "I think I'll take you with me," or something like that. And so she passed away in 2015, and as a result of her death, I decided I would write the story about it and her experience and how people were so kind to her. And when they stepped forward to do an act of kindness, it was like, it was a monumental thing. And for us, we didn't expect that, and certainly never expected it, and they were doing it for no return whatsoever. But we wanted to let them know that we really appreciated what they did for her, and so we added those phrases. And so then I began to think about the other things that we can do to promote the book by telling stories of experiences that we had together. And as we were sharing the experiences of what took place, I spoke about the illustration of the ripple effect, that when you're putting yourself out there and you say the word of thank you, you're dropping words out there that will have a ripple effect come back to you the way you put them out. The same thing is true of a story that I illustrated with Johnny, who played in the meadows, and he was calling and laughing and carrying on and jumping around, and he thought he heard a little boy in the woods mocking him, and he hollered to the little boy, "Come out and play with me," and the little boy came back with the words, "Come back and play with me." And he did that a few times and was very upset because the little boy would not come out and play with him. So he went home and told his mother that he thought the little boy was mocking him in the woods and he would come out and play with him. She said, "Well, no, Johnny, that's not a little boy in the woods. That's your echo. And what you say when you call out like that comes back to you the same way you say it." And so from that illustration, the word acts of kindness are deeds that people do that will come back to them because of their goodness to other people. The book has to do with our relationships with those around us and how we treat others and how they treat us. And so I kind of wrote the book as a thank you to all those in the world who ever stepped forward to do an act of kindness. And nobody ever said more than just thank you. But the thank you is not enough. We need to speak up and tell that how much we appreciated that act of kindness, and find a way to demonstrate it when we pass it on to somebody else. And follow the rule, which is the golden rule, is to treat others the way you would like to be treated. And so this story is about how we meet people and what we say to them and how we treat them, because those acts of kindness and the way we treat people comes back to us in the same form. How we treat people with our body language. I use the illustration of the letters. When we think with our hands, we do things with our hands, and we go places with our feet. And we say things by the way we hold our face and the smile that we put on it. And all of those acts are things that we do that help people understand that we have a relationship with them. You can get by without doing anything for anybody when they do an act of kindness. You don't have to say anything. But when you do, and you go with your feet and you speak with your hands and you carry your body in a way that lets them know that you appreciate what they did, it's a big help to them to recognize that they did something of value for you, and they want to be applauded for it, and they don't look for anything in expectation of return, but it does help them to want to do it again because you did appreciate what they did. And so that book has hit the marketplace. It has traveled to 6 international book fairs in the course of the last 2 years. I've been on several different book tours throughout the United States. And Maple Leaf Publishing Company called me and told me that they had my book and were interested in doing something with it. So I arranged for them to bring it to Canada and put it in the Canadian bookstores. And in that process, they gave me an opportunity to come to Canada for a book tour. I started out in Halifax a week ago in Nova Scotia, and a week later I'm here in Lethbridge, Alberta, to sign my book and pass it on to those people who come to the Word on the Street program. I'm very happy with the way Maple Leaf has been handling my book, because not only have they been promoting it in their bookstores, but they've already translated it into the French-Canadian language. and that's another plus. So I'm very appreciative of the work that they've done for me and how they've helped my book to be promoted. And I believe it's people that are interested in it call me all the time and say that it's a book that's of value to them and they appreciate it and they think it's a timely message that we all need to hear. So I'm very happy with what Maple Leaf Publishing is doing for me. It's a wonderful experience with them and I appreciate it. Since I've had such success with this first book, I've decided to write a second book, which is called Saying I Love You and Beyond is Saying I Love You Enough. And it can be ordered through mosgrove'slovenotes.com. It can be obtained by looking onto my website and ordering from them. And I believe that the second book will have the same success that my first book has had. I have publishers already calling me about it, and I'm anticipating that it will also be successful. Many people will want to read it as well, and I hope you do too. Thank you very much.